The Analects of Confucius, Chapter 11. 11.1 The Master said, Country folk master ritual and music early. Nobles master them late. In practice, I prefer the early learners. 11.2 The Master said, None who followed me in shun and sigh now attend my door. 11.3 Disciples' Specialties. Virtuous Conduct, Yan Hui, Minzikian, Ran Boniu, Chonggong. Eloquence, Zai Wo Zigong. Governance, Ran Yu Zilu. Cultural Scholarship, Ziyu Zixia. 11.4 The Master said, Hui aids me not, he simply delights in all I say. 11.5 The Master said, Min Ziqian's filial piety. None dispute his parents' praise. 11.6 Nan Rong often recited the White Jade Ode. Confucius wed him to his elder brother's daughter. 11.7 Ji Kangzi asked which disciple loved learning. Confucius replied, Yan Hui did but died untimely. Now there is none. 11.8 When Yan Hui died, his father requested Confucius' carriage for an outer coffin. The Master said, My son Li died with only an inner coffin. I cannot walk as a former minister. I must ride. 11.9 When Yan Hui died, the Master cried, Alas! Heaven destroys me. Heaven destroys me. 11.10 At Yan Hui's death, the Master wailed violently. Disciples said, You grieve excessively. He replied, For whom should I grieve thus, if not him? 11.11 Disciples gave Yan Hui a lavish funeral against Confucius' wishes. He said, Hui regarded me as a father, yet I failed to treat him as a son. This is your doing. 11.12 Zilu asked about serving spirits. The Master said, Unable to serve the living, how serve spirits? Asked about death, he said, Not understanding life, how understand death? 11.13 Minzikian. Calm at the Master's side. Zilu. Dynamic. Ran Yu and Zigong. Affable. The Master said, A man like you, Zilu, may die unnaturally. 11.14 Minzikian opposed rebuilding Lu's treasury. Why not preserve the old? Confucius said, This man speaks seldom, but always to the point. 11.15 Hearing Zilu's lute playing, Confucius said, Why play at my door? Disciples lost respect for Zilu. The Master said, You has entered the hall, but not the inner chamber. 11.16 Zigong asked, Who excels Shi or Shang? The Master said, Shi overshoots, Shang falls short. Then is Shi better? To overshoot is as bad as to fall short. 11.17 Ran. You taxed heavily for the Ji family. Confucius said, He is no disciple of mine. My students, Shu may beat the drum against him. 11.18 Gao Shai. Simple, Zheng Shen, dull, Zizheng, partial. Zilu, rash. The Master said, Hui seemed perfect, yet remained empty. Ci Zigong, defying fate, prospered through trade-off in correctly guessing. 11.19 Zizheng asked about the good man's way. The master said, "Without treading its path, you enter not the inner chamber." He added, "One may speak profoundly, but is he a noble man, or merely stern-faced?" 11.20 Zilu asked, "Should I act immediately on hearing truth?" The master said, "Consult father and elder brothers first." Ran Yu asked the same. The master said, "Act immediately." Gong Si Hua asked why. Confucius said, "Yu Ran Yu hesitates, I urge him on. Yu Zilu rushes ahead, I hold him back." 11.21 In Kuang's danger, Yan Hui fell behind. The master said, "I feared you dead." Hui replied, "While you live, how dare I die?" 11.22 Ji Ziren asked if Zilu and Ran Yu were great ministers. The master said, "I expected other questions. A great minister serves rulers by the way, resigning if blocked. These two are merely functional ministers. Would they obey any order? Patricide or regicide? Never." 11.23 Zilu appointed Zigao governor of Bai. The master said, "You ruin another's son." Zilu said, "Governing people and altars, must one read books to learn?" The master said, "This is why I detest glib talkers." 11.24 Zilu, Zheng Shi, Ran Yu, and Gong Si Hua sat with the master. He said, "Though older, ignore that. You, if recognized, what would you do?" Zilu said, "Governing a small state besieged by armies and famine in 3 years, I'd make people courageous and principled." The master smiled. Ran Yu said, "Governing a 60-li territory in 3 years, people would prosper. Ritual and music? Await a noble man." Gong Si Hua said, "At ancestral rites or royal meetings, I'd assist in ceremonial robes." Zheng Shi said, "In late spring, clad in new robes, I'd bathe in the Yi River, enjoy breezes at the rain dance altar, and return singing." The master sighed. "I side with Dian Zheng Shi." Later, Zheng Shi asked about the other's answers. Confucius said, "Each spoke his aspiration. Why smile at Zilu? Governing requires propriety." His reply lacked humility. Ran Yu spoke not of a state. 60 li is a state. Gong Si Hua sought no state. Ancestral rites and royal meetings, only for rulers. If Qi assists minor rites, who assists major ones?